The military is just a job. That is what most people love to say. Civilians say it. Some veterans say it. Even recruiters sometimes downplay it. And every time I hear it, I shake my head because calling the military just a job is the biggest lie I have ever heard. A job pays you for your time. The military pays you for your life. It changes who you are. It pays you while you serve, and then it keeps paying you long after you hang up the uniform. That is not a job. That is a system. That is leverage. And if you mistake it for just a paycheck, you are going to miss the real power hiding behind those two letters, VA. On this channel, I show you how 3 years can buy you a lifetime bag. So subscribe. Let us start with where this myth comes from. Civilians look at the pay chart. They see an E1 or E2 making what looks like a low salary. They say, see, the military is just another job, just another employer, nothing special. They compare it to flipping burgers, working retail, or clocking into an office. They think the paycheck is the only thing that matters. Even some veterans feed into this. Maybe they left service without filing for benefits. Maybe they wasted opportunities. Maybe they never learned the system. They walk away bitter and say, the military is just a job. Do not waste your time. And if that is the voice you listen to, you will believe it because it sounds logical. You go in, you work, you get paid, you get out, right? But here is the problem with this mindset. That is not the whole truth. That is like looking at the down payment of a house and ignoring the entire property that comes with it. That is like judging a car by the tires and ignoring the engine. When you call the military just a job, you are blind to the real return on investment. So let us define what a job really is. A civilian job is an exchange. Hours for dollars. You work, you get paid. You stop working, the pay stops, right? There are no lifetime benefits waiting for you after the job ends. Sure, maybe there is a 401k, which is the retirement, if you are disciplined enough to contribute. Maybe there is health insurance as long as you are employed. But the moment you leave that job, the benefits vanish. That is what a job is. Temporary income tied to your hours, tied to your efforts. The military is not like that. Yes, you earn a paycheck while you serve, but that paycheck is not the whole story. The military is the only employer that keeps paying you after you leave. It is the only system where a few years of service unlock decades of benefit. That is why calling it just a job is such a lie. Here is the truth. The military is not just employment. It is a system. And when you learn to use that system, it changes your entire life. Let me break it down for you. While you serve, you get paid every 2 weeks, like clockwork, right? You receive housing allowance, food allowance, and healthcare coverage. You get stability that most immigrants and civilian and young people have never seen before. After you serve, you qualify for VA disability compensation tax-free for life if you file, right? You earn education benefit for the GI Bill, which pays you to go to school. Yes, you heard it correctly. Pays you to go to school. You unlock state-level perks, property tax exemptions, free tuition for dependents, discounted or free vehicle registration, and more. You keep healthcare options even into retirement. For your family, spouses and kids can receive educational benefits too. Healthcare extends to them. They inherit the stability you build. That is not a job. That is a foundation. That is leverage. That is a system civilians cannot even imagine. Let us get specific. Disability pay, tax-free, guaranteed for life. I personally receive $4,544 every month tax-free. That is more than my rent, more than my bills, more than my groceries. That check is stability, and it is not tied to hours worked. It arrives whether I'm working a $300,000 IT job at the moment or sitting at home. The GI Bill, this one is wild. Civilians pay tens of thousands of dollars for tuition and go into debt. Veterans not only get free tuition, but also a housing allowance paid to them while they study. No receipts asked. I collected over $2,500 per month for years just to sit in class, on top of my IT job. That money covered my bills, while I earned degrees that advanced my career. That is not just a job. That is stacking benefits. Healthcare. Most Americans live in fear of medical bills. Veterans do not. Medical coverage is baked in. That peace of mind alone is worth thousands of dollars every year. State-level perks. Depending on where you live, you might pay zero property tax as a 100% disabled veteran. That is thousands saved each year. And when I say 100% disabled, I did not mean that you have to lose a leg or a hand. Add in free vehicle registration, tuition for kids, and more. The value multiplies. Discipline and identity. This is the piece nobody talks about. A job gives you money. The military gives you structure. It reshapes your habits. It forces discipline into you, and that discipline stays long after you leave. That is why I can thrive in IT today. That is why I can handle pressure, deadlines, leadership. Discipline is the hidden wealth. Stack all of these together and you will see why just a job is a joke. Here is what a civilian job gives you: survival. Here is what the military gives you: transformation. It takes you from broke and lost to stable and focused. It turns chaos into structure. It turns insecurity into confidence. It pays you while you serve and then rewards you for life. Calling that just a job is like calling an airplane just a bus. Sure, they both move people, but one changes what is possible. Let me give you two quick stories. Soldier A treated the military like a job. He did his contract, got out, and never filed for benefits. He worked a civilian job at $50,000 a year, paid rent, paid taxes, lived paycheck to paycheck. 10 years later, he was tired, broke, and still renting. Soldier B treated the military like a system. Same contract, same service, same MOS. But when he left, he filed for disability. He used the GI Bill to go to school and collected housing allowance while studying. He stacked his benefits, invested, and built wealth. 10 years later, he owned a home, had investments, and lived with freedom. Same starting point, different outcomes. The difference is one believed the lie that the military is just a job. The other saw the system for what it is. So let me say it clearly. If you call the military just a job, you are insulting yourself. You are underselling the only system in America that pays you three ways: while you serve, after you leave, and for life. It is not just hours for dollars. It is leverage. It is opportunity. It is a system built to reward sacrifice with lifetime benefits. And the people who call it just a job are the ones who walk away without using it. Do not let the bitterness become your reality. The military is not just a job. It is a foundation. It is a launchpad. It is the contract that can buy you freedom if you understand how to use it. So next time someone says the military is just a job, remember this: jobs end, benefits last. If this video helped you to understand it and you want 3 years for a lifetime bag, click the first link in the description. Drop a comment if you have any question or you want to say something and I will answer them. Watch this video on the screen that YouTube thinks will be helpful to you. Thank you for watching till the end. Peace.